So guys, the crypto markets are dumping, altcoins are dumping, the stock market opened today and everything is also crashing as well. And a lot of people aren't anticipating the huge dip that is going to be happening for altcoins, just pretty much based off of the Bitcoin dominance chart and USDT dominance chart that we've been following on this YouTube channel. We have been anticipating multiple dips and pretty much the sideways price action that is currently taking place. If you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. I'm an intermediate trader documenting my journey, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated on specific indicators around Bitcoin, around altcoins, just so you can understand how liquidity shifts in the market, how rotations happen, as well as also the specific altcoins you need to be focused on and exactly the day-to-day events that are happening and the shift in sentiment and where you need to position yourself. Right now, a lot of indicators around USDT dominance and Bitcoin dominance are going to cause a lot of crypto investors, altcoin investors, to make some huge mistakes, especially if they're not aware of how liquidity moves in the market and exactly what's happening around these specific assets. I want to show you guys exactly what's going on in the crypto markets, what you need to be aware of, and exactly what is potentially going to be happening for altcoins. Let's go and jump into it. So guys, as I said, the crypto markets have been dumping. As you can see, my portfolio is, sitting sideways. Everything is crashing up and down. Overall, though, we are down very significantly for the 30-day on multiple of these assets. A lot of them are down around like 50 to 60% from where we're seeing. But Bitcoin, as you can see, is sitting at a tough zone at around 94,000. And it's, really crazy the price action that we've been seeing moving into the holidays. It is really showing that the price action is weak, and more than likely USDT dominance is going to be shooting through the roof. The total 2 chart, guys, showing how altcoins are doing. We did see a slight recovery for the holiday season, but now with the markets opening back up, stocks getting liquidated, a lot of investors are starting to capitulate their bags, and we're feeling the squeeze very significantly. The 2 indicators that we're really focusing on, guys, that are showing us where liquidity is moving into the market, when Bitcoin is going to get that liquidity, and also USDT, just because both those assets have a correlation as to where the liquidity moves in the market. That's when altcoins are going to get squeezed nasty. Right now, we can see that Bitcoin dominance is starting to pump up in these specific trend lines that we were seeing in previous episodes that I covered on, guys, whenever I had these predictions before this actually happened. If you guys have been following the channel, you guys know that I kind of talked about this before it happened, which was really dope. But we are setting up for a potential rip up for Bitcoin dominance as well as USDT, getting back to these specific trends and breaking specific validation zones and exactly where they have been trading, which is going to be really crazy for the total 2 chart, which could result in some crazy dips and, a lot of discounts across the board, more than what we are already seeing around a few coins. Conduct was sitting at around 12 cents, 2-3 weeks ago, now sitting at 5-6 cents. Hash AI at 0.001. This coin was almost at 0.002. Destra sitting at 2.8. It was sitting at around 60 cents not too long ago. So guys, or 50 cents. So a lot of these coins, guys, they have a lot of room to still run, but they can still get squeezed as well. Connex was sitting at 2 cents before all of this. Hash AI was sitting at 0.005. Destra 19 cents, so on and so forth. So a lot of these assets, guys, they have pumped up significantly and they're sitting quite strong, but they still could be deviating lower. Justin Bennett has been talking about this, and we've been following a few specific crypto analysts that are pointing to the fact that, a few of these indicators are showing that altcoins are going to get squeezed. And a lot of people disagree with this, and this is why I think a lot of altcoin investors are going to get freaking Shrek, because they don't have an open mind into what could potentially be happening. But Justin Bennett goes on to say the Bitcoin December candle isn't pretty. This is my biggest technical concern for the crypto early 2025. Overall, bulls on only have 33 hours to turn things around, which seems unlikely given today's bloodbath from stocks. We'll see. And pretty much he's just talking about how the weak price action around Bitcoin isn't looking too well, especially with the US stock markets, starting to crash very significantly. We can see, Bitcoin starting to deviate a little bit lower based off of this price action. He goes on to say the Bitcoin 2021 trend line we've discussed before is still the level to watch in his opinion. And you guys can see we are dancing around that trend line right now. It says weekly on the left, daily on the right. how Bitcoin trades around this level on the high time frame will dictate what we get in early 2025. And right here, guys, you can see the long time frame, and then right here you can see the shorter time frame. And this kind of gives you some perspective, because some people just look at short-term, perspectives, and they can't really see more of a long-term perspective as to what's happening. I'm more of a long-term person, so I look at these long-term perspectives as well as the macro day-to-day. But I think it's really key to look at these specific trend lines as well as where we're at based off of previous cycles, and really determine exactly how you want to position yourself. Based on these charts, Bitcoin is probably going to run, and Bitcoin dominance is going to run as well. And as a result, altcoins are going to get squeezed. USDT is also going to be doing something similar just because it correlates with Bitcoin. Moving into the perspective from crypto analysts, crypto traders in the market, bull people that have been here through multiple cycles. Ilo is one person that I love to follow and see his perspective on the markets. He goes on to say there's simply no chance I'm selling my alts here, which more likely you should not be doing as well. I'm not selling my alts, especially even if we start to see them dip much more. He says, I can absolutely stomach the pain of Bitcoin dominance going higher before it falls off a cliff. If that is the path it takes, I've waited years. I will wait a bit longer if required. Alts will bask in the sun soon enough. And I think this is very key, guys, because right now you need to position yourself. You need to be holding on very strong, because your altcoins are about to go on a roller coaster. Now, all assets are gonna, perform different based off of how the market is going, but a lot of altcoins are going to get squeezed like crazy. And if you're not ready for it, you're gonna feel very, very sad. You're probably gonna capitulate, trying to de-risk, and then from there position yourself incorrectly. And this is where I want you guys to understand that me, someone as invested in the crypto markets, I have a decent portfolio. I'll show you guys on the screen right here. It's sitting quite nicely. I'm actually up really, really good. But overall, right now, guys, the crypto markets are trading sideways. Everything isn't super high, and we could be deviating lower, and I'm ready for that. I'm not going to capitulate my bags. I just have side income ready to deploy into the market the moment everything turns into an absolute bloodbath. And that's what you need to be doing too. You need to be waiting for more validation, which is what I've been preaching on this channel. If you're new to the channel, drop a comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content, because I keep you guys updated on the day-to-day events. CryptoCon talks about where we're at in this crypto bull cycle based off of the 2017 cycle and the 2020-2021 crypto bull cycle. It says this is so far a small correction after reaching 100K is your barrier to entry for the rest of the Bitcoin bull run. So right now he's saying this is an entry point that you need to be looking at. The Mayer multiples shows us that nothing is different so far. The cycle low mark was hit in 2022 and the mid top was made this year in March, both of which have occurred every single cycle, as you guys can see in the 2017 cycle as well as December of 2020. You can see the three boxes: the technical cycle low, the cycle mid top, and then the new all-time highs in cycle top. He thinks that we are past the cycle mid top, moving into the new all-time highs and cycle top, which I also do believe. But as you can see, before in the 2020 cycle, we saw some crazy deviations before we started to rip up, which I think is going to be happening. He goes on to say, like other data suggests, now is like January 2013, January 2017, and December 2020 before new all-time highs, even though price is already at new all-time highs. As a crypto holder, 2025 is what we've been waiting for, which of course, guys, Q1 of 2025 is still the mark. But what a lot of people aren't anticipating, which this is a great post that I wanted to show you guys, is how bad the economy is going to be handing over to Trump, from the Democratic administration to the Republican administration. A lot of people aren't anticipating that whenever we move into January, we have the inauguration. There's going to be a lot of moving parts in terms of how the U.S. is going to work, cabinets, all these different positions that are going to have to be allocated, and people don't understand how bad it can get for a little bit before we have a little bit of relief, especially with Fed cuts and multiple other different things as to how the economy is currently performing, and multiple other different things in terms of the total GDP, and multiple other different indicators that I don't want to get into right now. But this is something that a lot of people aren't anticipating. This is something that can cause, one of those black swan events where we start to see a crazy dip in the market just based off of stuff that happens. And whenever it happens, I'm going to point back to this YouTube video, because I love to talk about things before they potentially happen. And based off of where we're seeing with specific indicators, what's going on with, moving into Q1 of 2025 with the US, and exactly what's going on in the crypto markets, I could see crazy deviations before we see altcoin season happen. But guys, that is currently what's currently taking place. I want to run back through everything every single thing, just because, like how I said, I think a lot of altcoin investors are going to make some crazy mistakes, even crypto investors that aren't even looking into altcoins. People just aren't understandable as to what's happening in terms of where liquidity moves into the market and how things have an effect. But guys, jumping back through everything, overall, Bitcoin is currently trading at 94,000, trading very weak for the weekly time frame, and overall for the month of December, closing out December. Total 2 chart is looking like it's strong on the weekly time frame, but overall altcoins are getting squeezed very significantly right now. The 2 charts that we're following that are showing us where liquidity is moving is Bitcoin dominance as well as the USDT chart. This is really pretty much the 2 assets that squeeze all of the liquidity out of altcoins, and both of these assets have a correlation. So if both of them start to jump up, that's whenever we're going to start to see altcoins get wrecked. Right now, Justin Bennett talks about how the Bitcoin 2021 trend line is what we've discussed before, and it's still the level to watch in his opinion. Overall, if we start to, trade in a specific zone, this is whenever we're going to start to see actually the shifts in liquidity. And he gives a macro perspective as well as that long-term perspective, just to let you know exactly what could be happening with the price action around Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. Ilo talks about how right now he's not selling his altcoins, and neither should you. I'm not selling my altcoins, but you should be getting ready to stomach the pain of Bitcoin dominance going up. He's ready for it. He's a seasonal trader, has been here for multiple cycles, so he's aware of this, but other people aren't aware of this, which is why I'm shooting this YouTube video, to give you guys a perspective of not only seasonal traders, but also someone that is keeping up with the day-to-day events and knows exactly where price action is potentially going. And this is just a great post letting you know that altcoins are going to get their time in the sun, but potentially stomach the pain of Bitcoin dominance shooting up and altcoins getting squeezed. CryptoCon talks about how where we're at in this crypto bull cycle is still normal. Everything is still on track to see crazy gains, but we're pretty much on the mark where, this is a correction, where a time of buying is really, employed to everybody. But at the end of the day, this is where you have to do your own analysis to determine where we're going to be dropping off a little bit more and where you want to start to enter the market. I think a lot of people aren't anticipating what's going to be happening in Q1. I have this post right here talking about exactly how the economy is and what they're handing to Trump. People aren't anticipating how this is going to be affecting the markets, how the crypto markets are going to be affected by this, and multiple other different moving parts moving into the inauguration, and more stuff revolved around the US, like interest rates, interest cuts, all these different things, guys, that go, rate cuts, multiple different things. But overall, wiping everything to the side, guys, that is currently what's taking place in the crypto markets. We're watching specific indicators around Bitcoin dominance, around USDT dominance as well, pretty much to let us know where liquidity is moving into the market. Everything is shaping up pretty much based off of the previous cycles, and this is letting us know that potentially we could be seeing a squeeze for altcoins. And if you aren't aware of how previous cycles have performed, what we're currently seeing right now, and how we could be getting set up, then you're going to get wrecked, guys. You're going to get shreked because you aren't aware of what's going on. But that's why you have Playboy G. That's why you have me. I shoot day-to-day videos, guys. If you're new to my content, go ahead and check out the rest of my content. I'm an intermediate trader documenting my journey, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated on the day-to-day events of what's going on in the markets, because sentiment changes like crazy. And on top of that, I also want to inform you on the best altcoins to be looking at to make those crazy gains. I made some crazy gains, like I'll show you on the screen again real quick. I've made some crazy gains. It's still sitting up quite nicely even though the markets are dipping, and I plan to make even more money, and I plan to show you guys also how I plan to take profits in multiple other different things. But if you're new to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my content, my perspective on the markets, the state of the markets. Let me know what you guys think is going to be happening for altcoins. Do you think we're going to be ripping up? Do you think altcoins are going to be dipping down? I love to hear everyone's perspective and also what to focus on. But I drop daily content every day, so stay tuned with the videos that I drop so you understand exactly what altcoins to focus on, the indicators that are being presented, and exactly how to position yourself. New to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.